thank you very much for staying there. Still the first Capital Plus Premier League show on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV. There's a lot to talk about tonight, and I have great gentlemen who've joined me in the studios. And I have to say they're fine-tuned, primed for this because they're excellent in those fields. We can talk about one goalkeeper who has been in it for the Black Stars. He understands the terrain. And tonight we'll be talking a lot about the glowsmen of the various teams. And the interesting fact is, lots of them go out and they find themselves coming back to this country. We're examining the impact they have on the league. And tonight in the studio I have ex-Ghana international Abukari Damba. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, and it's good to see you.
And it'll be great to talk to you a lot about goalkeepers and all, and even about Fatal Dada. There's really a lot in it. He has loads of information, you know, about the young chaps. So tonight's going to be very great to have him. Not only Abukari Damba in the studio as well, we have Coach Eben Sefa. I call him student of the game, lecturer of the game, doctor of the game, professor of the game, the light-skinned man, and he's right in there. We've sandwiched him in the studio tonight. Coach Eben, welcome.
Thank you.
And Coach Evans also had loads of stories they're building up. Who is moving where? Very exciting. And so tonight he's going to be giving us everything. And just offset, we're talking about a catalogue of players who have moved out there, couldn't really do well, and they have come back. Hey, we're talking about the goalkeepers. Coach, you're talking about up to 36. In his research, that was amazing. We're talking about the 36 players. The unfortunate thing is we're not going to do all the 36 tonight anyway. We'll just talk about some 10 and look at those really current in the league then.
Yes.
Now, time to talk about news. That's just coming around in the first Capital Plus Premier League. Of course, we're building up to the start of the new season. Some of you are talking about 18-man league. We'll be asking them to find out what to do about it. Let's have rolling on our screens now the news right now, the first Capital Plus Premier League, and they'll be rolling on your screens. Just ahead of it will be the Hearts of Oak Kumasi Asante Kotoko game. Everybody is looking ahead to. Just before we start rolling on the screen, then let me come to you, Abukari Damba, and ask you this question. Well, lots of people are saying that Ken Faisal might not give up. They are showing a lot of bullish resolve, and they certainly want to go all the way with this case, and they can push the league all the way to February next year. So there's a little bit of consultations to say, why don't we have an 18-man league? Is it possible?
Well, everything is possible. You know, but the fact of the matter is that if King Faisal do have a case, I think there should be a way of resolving the case. And I don't think King Faisal should hold the whole country to ransom so far as football is concerned. But that notwithstanding, they have rights as well, and their rights must be respected. But I think there should be an amicable solution to this, because football at the end should be the winner. You know, so I think that they have to look at this. And why not? Football is about dialogue. They can dialogue.
If it's possible. They say they still want their pound of flesh. They really want to play in the league. Yes, give them a way to do so, or they're not going to allow anybody to enjoy the league. And that's what they're saying. So well, why don't you just draft them in if it's very difficult?
I don't think drafting them in is the issue. And they must be drafted in on merit.
Okay. That's what you think.
So do they merit to be playing the league is a question. If yes, let them in. If no, well, let's leave them out and go ahead.
Well, Alhaji Grusa is not looking like a man who's going to be giving up anytime soon. And the last time I spoke to him, he says that he's really bent on sending this everywhere in Moscow, so he can get into CAF, get into FIFA, of course, and get into the Court of Arbitration for Sports. Loads of avenues for him to get into it. Coach Eben Sefa is one man who's always has a look into what's happening there, and he's an insider, I have to say. You can give us some information. Is this 18-man league thing going to work?
I don't think so.
It won't?
I don't think so. I don't think so. You know, Alhaji, as Damba said, if Alhaji has a case, why not draft him in? I'm not saying it's necessary for Alhaji to play in the Premier or
the GFA have indicated that Alhaji probably doesn't have a case.
And he thinks
this is the case a number of times.
And he thinks
Alhaji says he has a case.
Yeah.
And he has the opportunity to send this all the way. And he says he wants to do that.
So let's wait for the outcome of it.
But that can take us to February, March.
Well, you don't blame Alhaji, do you?
I don't blame Alhaji.
You don't blame Alhaji, you don't blame anybody. So let's wait for the outcome of the issue. Other than that, you will not be sitting here, or you'll be sitting now talking about the 18, 20 league. So I believe that we have to have patience and then wait for whatever comes out of the court. I think it's on the 7th and then on the 23rd.
21st of October.
21st of October. So let's wait for it.
But on the other hand, there must always be a plan B. If assuming Alhaji wants to push the league all the way, fine, he's at liberty to do that. That simply means that the League 2, when it kickstarts, will be fast-tracked, isn't it? Yeah, then we have to play 2 games every week.
Maybe 2 games every week or 3 games every
week.
Yeah,
it's possible.
It's possible, yes.
Yeah, we must just make sure.
We're already stretched.
Yes.
We're already stretched.
So we must make sure
we meet
the time and be within the range.
As African Cup of Nations
So,
in January.
Yes,
I
it's in
think
January.
it lies in the range of the PLB.
That's right.
Because they are the organizers of the league. So I believe that, as Damba is saying, if it is being stretched by Alaji, and I saw him 2 days ago, and per what he was saying,
He wants to stretch.
for Alaji to tell you, look, if he comes to the stand of even putting his life on,
He'll put it on.
He'll put it on.
Then Alaji is
So,
serious about
so
it.
today, that should tell how serious the issue is.
Well, so we're really in for some battle. We'll see how it certainly goes out there. Time to get into the news. And just to let you know, if you don't understand why the league hasn't started, here are the details for you. Ken Faisal are holding the GFA to ransom. They say they must play the league. They have not been fairly relegated. Adriana Stars are in the hanging. They want 6 points off them. If that happens, Ken Faisal will be in it. Adriana Stars will be out. But we're not too sure how that goes. There's a pending case to be heard on the 7th of October and another one to be held on the 21st of October. This is where we are, no closer to knowing when the league is starting. But let's talk about what's happening on the side, because the clubs have to get themselves active, and we'll have the rolling on your screens in terms of the news. What do we have first of all? Okay, yeah, we're talking about this one. I'm sure we've dealt with it very well. The Ghana FA contemplating staging 18-team league. Of course, Coach Ibn Sifa is very close, and he says that, well, none of that's happening. Whatever it is, we're all talking about an 18-team league. Let's see if we can draft in Ken Faisal if they wanted to send us all the way. Yeah, more stories coming in. Hearts of Oak to play Kotoko in two-legged friendly, and that's going to be taking place in Kumasi. That's on Monday, and the next day it will take place at Accra Stadium. We'll see. It's always great to see Kotoko and Hearts play, no matter when, no matter what, and they're putting themselves together. Well, they somehow couldn't meet the top 4 because Ashgold will have it though. Ashgold will have their way. But what you make of this? The class making themselves and putting themselves ready.
Well, for me, it's good for the country. It's good for both Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Accra Hearts of Oak. But is it good for the rest of the teams? Well, because you have a pre-season that all clubs have gone through, and they all targeted that they were going to start the league on at a particular date, on a particular week. So the preparations was geared towards that, and now all this has been truncated. For purposes of maybe exciting the people, we know these are the 2 most glamorous clubs in the country. But then, in my opinion, well, small competitions could have also been arranged between other clubs. Let them play around, keep them in shape, so as to allow them, to be in their tip-top...
Not to cut you, well, Garka were telling me they wanted to do something like that. But I don't know how far that was going, because the top 4 wasn't that successful, the fact that they didn't have a lot of things in there. I'll come back to you on the question. Let's get onto the phone line. We can talk to Ali Maradona, try to find out what Kotoko are really thinking ahead of this all-important game. Ali Maradona is certainly one who's in touch with Kumasi Asante Kotoko Never. Thank you very much for joining us, Ali Maradona. Good evening. Welcome to the Joy Sports Channel, Multi TV, and especially on the First Capital Plus Premier League show.
Thank you, my brother. My father also is in the studio.
Which I'm not. Well, I don't qualify to be your father, I know, but I have Coach Aben and I have
my
Damba.
father. I hear the voice of my father, Coach Damba is there.
Okay, but I don't know how much.
He is my father,
I know. But
always I copy things from him, so let's say hi to him.
Well, okay. Hi to him. I'm your betweener now. Anyway, how you going to put it? I don't know how much I'm going to charge you for having a father on the show, so you can call. Let's not talk about Kumasi Asante Kotoko, shall we? Then, okay, that's a father. Let's talk about it now. What really went into the thinking? Why would you want to play Hearts of Oak when the season hasn't really started?
Yes, sometimes some organizations using these 2 clubs and raising the money. And after that, we didn't receive our share with it. And again, this year, Asante Kotoko target is to play for Africa to go far. Our target to go to the money zone, so that we need to prepare very well. So that is the reason why we just receiving so many letters from organizations that they wanted to organize the 2 teams between Kotoko and Azoko to play matches, and then after that, maybe they give us the P of it. But at the end, we follow our P's for so many, we didn't get it. So we decided we're supposed to call our people to sit down, to talk each other. So we plan to organize our own match. So that after that, we will receive the very top opposition. Then because of Africa, we are going. As for the league, we didn't know when the day started, or today or tomorrow. And that is the reason why we are inviting our people. We wanted to play with our people this crucial time.
Okay, yeah, Ali, let me find out from you. I know that you had some meetings, or you were supposed to have some meetings with Accra Hartlepool. What has really come out of it? Are you set now with the 2 dates? Initially, we hear your proposed 6th of October. That's supposed to be a holiday on Monday in Kumasi. And of course, we're looking at the return on Sunday. That's the 12th of October in Accra. Has anything changed? What came out of your meeting?
No. There is the same discussion we did with them in Kumasi before we came to Accra on Wednesday to discuss about this matter. The first match we play in Kumasi on Monday, which is the Eid al-Adha holiday. And then we play the returning match in Accra here at Oyinich on the 12th of October. So it's the same day we play. That is our final decision with the 2 teams.
All right, now just before we leave you, let's talk about Kumasi Asante Kotoko a bit. And it should be some sight to see Ahmed Toure, the man, well, Accra Hartlepool say you stole from them, no matter what. The man who was in Hartlepool jerseys to play for them in the top 4, but finds himself in Kumasi Asante Kotoko with plots of land and a car and a lot of fans and ladies right behind him. I'm just wondering how it's going to happen. Are you set? What sort of spectacle are you expecting with Ahmed Toure playing against Hartlepool?
Yes, apart from Ahmed Toure, you know, this season we are signing almost about 11 new players. And then when you look at our matches we played recently, we use some of them. Even this evening, we play match against Kachima Select side. All the players, or maybe the new players, are on board. So that definitely they will see Ahmed Toure in Kumasi as something of the family. We didn't call him Ahmed Toure, we call him Nitaki. Because it's the first name the book has been given to him. So that they will see Nitaki on the phone. They will see so many players, Latif, Obed, and Labi Kumse, who is in form this time around. So definitely they will see different Asante Kotoko on the phone. We talk to them about the scoreline. If I have the folk relax, we get 4-0 scoreline. Definitely we can tell them this is the payback. I've already they give us for a long time. So this scoreline will be counted. And this match will be continued for 5 years. Every year we want to play this match before the league started, like they did it in England. So we want to assure all our fans they will see a very good football from Asante Kotoko, and then definitely they will see a very nice game from Hartlepool.
Preparations look set from you, certainly. Speaking with you, Ali Maradona, but let's find out how much is that going to cost, because I know loads of the guys are watching us live in Kumasi right now. How much would it cost them to go to the stadium? Are you opening the gates free or something?
No. We get, according to the discussion we did with Hartlepool here in Accra, we charge 5 cities at the popular stand and center line, and then 10 cities VIP and 15 cities PVIP. That is the normal price we want to charge at the gate.
Well, I think that's fine. Well and fine. 5 cities, 15 cities, I think that's okay. The fans will be there for you. Thank you very much for joining us, Ali Maradona. But you didn't tell me about the scoreline. What happened when you played against Techiman? Oh, we just got him off. We'll see if we can get him back again. Just trying to get that rectified. They played Techiman. We'll be interested to find out what happened with all those 11 players and how, at least he told us that they played well. Let's see if we can get Ali Maradona on again, if we can just talk to him about that. But you had it yourselves. I think they look pretty much set. Coach Eben, you don't look too impressed. Why? I don't know where you fall. Accra Hartlepool. It's very difficult when you are with Midiama or Brecum Chelsea. They say no matter where you are, you are still one of the two. Which of the two are you?
I was a coach of Kotoko, and I believe at that time number 2 was the goalkeeper trainer of Accra Hartlepool. But all the same, I think as we speak, I don't work for Kotoko and I don't work for Accra Hartlepool. So I'm just speaking for the purpose of the game.
The game itself.
And being realistic concerning these 2 teams, let me take Kumasi Asante Kotoko for a start. And I think that Kotoko lost Seydou Bansi, they lost Aziz, 2 brilliant players who did a good job for them during the last season, and I believe that there were 2 players who also helped so much in the squad. They've lost someone like Yaya Mohammed, who was the very strong person in the team, led Kotoko to beat Accra Suffolk here 1-0 in the league, and I think that with the coach Didi Dramani in the helm of affairs, trying to get a replacement of these players, he's been able to get Obedosu from Chelsea. He's got Max Setcher from
all in all, would you say that they are good? I mean, last week we tried to look at these trends and we said that,
of course,
they might not be exactly like for like, and might not still make them strong.
Kotoko were crying over Michael Ekufu. He was the engine of the team because he wanted to beat Kotoko. You need to stop Michael Ekufu from playing. and he left for Malaysia, and they were crying. And I think that God has listened to their prayers. He's back in their squad, and the kind of recruitment Kotoko has done this season, they've got individual brilliant players.
You expect them to run over Hartwell?
You talk of Frank Safu Jeffy, former of Wow Stars, went to South Africa and he's back. Monitoring their friendly matches.
And I hear there's another one with us now. I just trying to place a finger on. I think that was Rashid Sumala. He is also going to, is likely to come into the country.
No, Rashid Sumala is not coming to
one of the players
I'm saying
going on loan.
Mark Secretary.
No, apart from that, there was a quick story I had this evening that somebody is likely to come from South Africa to join them as well on loan. Yeah. So that
at the end of the day, it's about teamwork.
Okay.
The team that won the league last season has been together for 3 seasons under Coach Maswa Kunedu. Before they came under Didi Dramani, before onto this
Do you
time.
Expect them to be a Hansel?
And it's going to be a difficult game. You know, has folk playing in Kumasi. You know, during the last season league, I was in Kumasi to watch Kotoko and Accra folk. Per the standard of Kotoko and Accra folk, everybody thought Kotoko were going to wall up Accra folk, and even from the media. But when Accra folk stormed Kumasi Sports Stadium, and it was a difficult game for Kotoko, they nearly won the game. And the life of Accra, for top of Winfrey Kobler, wasn't in the game. And this time, Has has also had some young guys, of Isa Mumuni, they have Fatau on the right, they have Richard Yamwa, the captain of Sekedi Hazakes, they have Vincent Atinga from Ebusuan Dwarfs. They have a couple of guys. Well, although the Ahmed Toure Fatah is going to come in, but I believe that it's going to be a difficult game for Ahmed Toure because he went in the Phobian colors. Play the top 4 for them, just going back to Kumasi, and I've monitored him. It's not been easy for him, but Accra folk always feel comfortable playing Kumasi. No, they are
do you expect them to win over the 2 legs?
Well, definitely. I think that I tip Accra folk to beat Kotoko in Kumasi on Monday.
Let's slide on, do some more of the news. We'll just be touching with that before we went through that. So let's have a look at what's happening. And other clubs are getting themselves busy, rolling on your screens now. Let's find out exactly what's happening there. Okay. Now, J.E. Sapong, well, okay, he says that he's going to be very comfortable. The league goes to 18 or whatever. But you know what he means? It gives them a pop and a look in, actually. It gives them a peep in. If the league gets to 18, maybe Dwarfs will be given an opportunity to come back. It's only expected that. He says this, really. And that's J.E. Sapong. Let me add as well, Kumasi Asante Kotoko beat Techiman by 4 goals to 0. So that's looking good for them already. Mediama SC to play Heart Alliance in the friendly. That should be some tasty one as well as their clubs get themselves ready. And a lot of these games will be going on because there's no activity on the local scene, I have to say. It's sad to say, but that's exactly the situation right now. Let's do some more of the news coming through from the First Capital Plus Premier League. And I just told you, the registration was being extended for free agents, but for the normal players, it has ended pretty much. The players know who and who should be in it. It's something that we have been hoping to stick strictly to. Have we done that in the past, Coach Eben? Very quickly on this one. Have we stuck strictly that says, okay, the registration is over and it means it's over? But sometimes we say registration is over and people find themselves getting into it anyway.
That is the problem that we have here because we don't go by our rules.
Especially when the league hasn't started. What's the big deal then?
Now the point is that the teams need to, you know, as a player, you need to be secured by your registration. Yeah. For instance, if I'm training with Team A, and I know a couple of the players have been registered and have not been registered, how much serious do I take myself or I put myself in the team's training? Yeah. So I think that the PLB needs to put his foot down, and let's hope that as they ended the registration, it stands, because the previous years has not been like that. As you said, a couple of teams, I think last season, Kotoko came late in terms of registration, and they were fined 4,000.
That's right. Yeah.
They were fined 4,000.
You don't expect a big club like Kotoko to do that.
And a team that the acting CEO won the best CEO of the year in the beginning of the season, he couldn't. You see, so at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that this is a new season, and I think that the PLB needs to put his foot down.
Yeah. I'll be watching out.
And if you want, you see, it has opened an avenue for free agent players. For that, I agree with them. But players that are in the country for all these months, and then teams have not been able to. I think it's on online registration. You stay in the comfort of your office and you do the registration.
Send it out
you don't come all the way from WOW or Tamale to come and register your team in the.
We'll be watching that. We'll be watching that closely.
I think that the PLB needs to put its foot down. If it is closed, it is closed.
Well, let's hear from you as well. The show is not closed. We haven't closed yet, and our Facebook page is wide open. Send us your messages on our Facebook page. That's Joy Sports. You can also send us direct to a short code. That's 1760. 2 more of our slides, and then we can take a short break. Let's have it on your screen. In terms of news from the First Capital Plus Premier League, and BA United are also going to be playing Adriana Stars in a friendly. This is the final one, certainly, for our slides coming. So, BA United up against Adriana Stars, and that will be also an interesting game to watch. So, you see the regional thing happen, except Accra Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko, who have broken the code and are going to be playing in Accra and Kumasi. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, there's a lot to talk about. Fatal Dauda is back in the league. We're tracing a number of goalkeepers who have gone out there, really didn't succeed, had come back. Did they really work for them? We have a goalkeeper who has gone through the ranks. He has a trajectory of stories, and we need to get into that as well. Coach Eben Sifa is also going to be alongside with me as we go on and on with all of that, checking in the transfer. Short break, we're back into this. All right, welcome back, and let's talk some more about what's happening here. First of all, I think we have to get into the grassroots and find out what is really wrong with our goalkeeping, because it's happening right in the league. It's gone all the way. It's affecting the Black Stars itself. Lots of issues. Let me come to you, Damba, and let's find out from you what has gone wrong with goalkeeping in Ghana. But I think we have issues right now, considering that the Premier League is supposed to be feeding the Black Stars and feeding the national teams. We have loads of issues. I think even the youth teams are all going out there to the Black Stars. What is wrong with our goalkeeping in this country?
I wish I could categorically give you reasons why. But I think we have lots of challenges. And in my opinion, this has to do with, even though clubs, we have clubs that have their various philosophies and how they play. There's something we call the goalkeeping philosophy. And I think that is what is missing here. We don't have a succession plan when it comes to goalkeepers. I mean, it saddens my heart that, we have been shortchanged for a very long period of time. And in my opinion, goalkeeping is nearly almost, if not the most important position on the field of play. Why? Why say so? Because without a goalkeeper, no competitive game can start, according to the rules of the game. The goalkeeper is not just there like those yesteryears, that he's there to stop the ball or prevent the ball from going to his goalpost. Far from that, the trends have changed. The goalkeeper is now a very important figure in the team and can win single-handedly or lose games single-handedly, but an integral part of the team. Very, very important. And just the just ended World Cup, we saw these things. We saw how goalkeepers performed optimally. Excellent performance. More or less, what are we doing about it? What is it that we want to do to improve our goalkeeping department?
So where did we get it wrong? Because you talk about the goalkeeping philosophy, and then you're saying that it's likely that there is not a succession plan, a succession plan for this. Is it happening at the very roots of football?
I think no. I think no. We need to have or treat the goalkeeping department more seriously and effectively if we want to get, serious and efficient goalkeepers. Because this goalkeeping position is a special position and requires specific skills.
Okay, let me just hold you there. We'll have to go and do a call right now. Get onto the phone lines. We're going to talk to the Chief Executive Officer of Ashanti Gold. That's the reason why we're calling him. We're hearing Fatal Dauda looks to have signed for the club. We just want to get the confirmation from him and really what future's looking like for the young chap. Thank you very much for joining us on the Joy Sports channel and Multi TV. Kujafiano, good evening and welcome to the show. Hello. Hello, Kujafiano, good evening.
Good evening.
All right, you're live on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV, and you're on the First Capital Plus Premier League show. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Can you first of all confirm if Fatal Dauda has signed for Ashanti Gold yet?
Fatal Dauda arrived in the country on Sunday and went to Wasi yesterday. He signed a contract for 1 year with Ashanti Gold, and as we speak now, Fatal is a registered player of Ashanti Gold. All his registration documentation have been filed at the FA. What we are waiting for now is a transfer certificate from the South African FA, and then start competing for Ashanti Gold. But as I speak to you now, Fatal has rejoined Ashanti Gold Sporting Club.
Right, congratulations on capturing Ghana's #1 goalkeeper as we have it. But what really went into the thinking to get him back into Ashanti Gold?
I think Fatal happened to be, at the time he left, he was the captain of Ashanti Gold Sporting Club. And he worked out for greener pastures looking at the economic situation in the country, it is the desire of every player to ply his trade beyond the shores of Ghana. That took him to Orlando Pirates. At a point in time, he was getting a regular call-up, and this season, at the beginning, the current season of the ongoing season in South Africa, he went and registered with Chippa United. What he told me was that he had some contractual disagreements with the management of the club, and both parties mutually agreed to terminate the contract. And he decided to come back home to relaunch his career. And his decision was that he'll be playing for Ashanti Gold Sporting Club. So management of Ashanti Gold welcomed him with open arms. And he arrived in the country, as I said earlier, on Sunday and got registered by the close of registration yesterday.
Okay, so you made reference to he was the captain before he went. Does it just go to say that he's back and probably will be looking at taking the #1 spot in Ashanti Gold?
What I want to say is that he's got to compete for selection. Don't forget, during his absence, we went in for a formidable goalkeeper in the person of Robert Dabo, who had a couple of national scholars at the under-20 and the local Black Stars level at a point in time. And then we have another experienced goalkeeper who was a junior international in the person of Jose Bonsu. Now that he's back, we have some other young goalkeepers around, but we think that Atani will have to fight for the #1 position. It's not going to come automatic. His training regime and his comportment, if he can convince the coaches, then we don't have any problem at all with that. But to say that he's getting automatic placement in the starting lineup, that one, from a management point of view, we leave that technical hand to hand.
Okay, just before you leave us, maybe you want to tell us what are the new developments of the club? Anything new that you think your fans need to hear? Loads of them are watching you in Obuasi now.
The club is ready for the league, except for the court injunction on the league. I think that we can say that we are ready 80% to kickstart the season. And don't forget, we were a couple of weeks ago crowned the top 4 champions. That had added some level of confidence to the playing staff. We've had an importation from Namibia. Namibia International is also playing his trade. He's been given on loan to Ashanti Gold by Amazulu of South Africa. And out of 2 matches, he scored 2 goals for us. And we think that he's also going to add a lot to the fortunes of Ash Gold. Apart from that, we've been able to retain about 70% of our playing staff who played last season. And we think that with these few additions, we should be able to put up a big challenge for the league title.
All right, thank you very much, Kujo Fianu, for joining us on this program. We'll definitely talk some more as we go through and wish you the best of luck, certainly, with Fatau Dawda and all. We'll see how it pans out. The league just got better. If you're just joining us, you now know Fatau Dawda is with Ashanti Gold. What league to talk about, because you know how to look at getting in the buys. There's Kumasi, Santa Kozoko, and Fatau Dawda and Ashanti Gold. That's very interesting. Well, he talked about the fact that they were Galka champions. I don't know whether New DBS were the targeted witnesses or untargeted witnesses. It just depends on that. The targeted who have been hard to work. Never mind with all of that. But we're on the trail talking about what has happened and what was actually wrong with Ghana's goalkeeping. But because Fatau Dawda has come in, let's talk a little bit about that before we roll back into it. And tell me, you know a lot about this man. What couldn't have worked? What really didn't work for him when he went out there in Orlando Pirates and Chippa United lately, Damba?
You know, let's look at the department goalkeeping and what goes into goalkeeping. You know, we have what we call, you know, the specific skills. Then you have the general skills. Sometimes a goalkeeper can perform in a particular tournament, and due to the exploits of his specific skills, he is seen to be an excellent goalie. But you take him on board and you realize that his general skills don't fit into the philosophy of your team. That becomes problematic. You know, so sometimes you need to have a holistic look at the goalkeeper over a period of time.
So in that the specific skill might be, well, maybe a talent or maybe being agile, but
yeah,
general skill might be generally everything.
When we talk about goalkeeping, it is far from saying that you just stay in the goalpost and stop or prevent balls from getting into your net.
Okay.
After saving the ball, what next do you do? Functionally, you become an attacker. So you must be very, very technical and very, fluent with the ball.
Okay.
Technical on the ball. Your passing technique must be excellent. Your kicks. So definitely when your team is attacking, you are no longer a goalkeeper, but you become a goal player. So outfield-wise, you should be able to keep the ball in your team by giving excellent and accurate passes. And if you are not able to do that, you are not a complete goalkeeper. And look at the trend of goalkeeping now, the modern trends of goalkeeping needs that we have. It tells us that we need to have a goalkeeper who is very technical on the ball. Very, very technical. And you become a very important figure as against yesteryear's goalkeeping. So most of our goalkeepers, because of the training that they have had over a period of time, the basics, they didn't get it right. So it is difficult to change their style of goalkeeping.
Can we look at it in context? So we're talking about Fatau Dauda.
Yes.
He had specific skill in that African Cup of Nations.
Definitely.
And he doesn't have the general
Fatau
skill.
Dauda is the very reactive type, and we all know that. Very, very reactive. I'll take you international. Let's look at Iker Casillas. Yes, Iker Casillas, fantastic goalie. The whole world, everybody knows him and what he has done in the goalkeeping department. But when Mourinho took over as the coach, what happened to Casillas?
Once I was on the bench, we were looking at Diego Lopez.
And what were his reasons? That he was not able to play so far as the general performance of the team is concerned, because his technique was not on top of the game when it came functionally to attacking. So he thought that he should come again. Go improve yourself, invest in your career. If you get to that level, come back and play as my first choice. And what happened? He hired
Diego Lopez.
That's right. To come and take him through all these things. So this is what we are talking about. It's not only the Fatau Dauda issue, but it has happened to, top-class goalies up there. So Fatau Dauda, yes, reactionary, fantastic goalkeeper, but he needs to add up to his attributes as well. He needs to improve so far as certain, attributes of becoming a complete goalkeeper is concerned. And I think he can still do it. He has what it takes to do it, but he needs guidance.
Let's talk about it. You made a crucial point, and you said certainly there have been a number of coaches who have been going through this. Coach Eben is here. A number of goalkeepers have gone through this, but we have a coach who knows those goalkeepers have gone through it. So let's put that together in context. Now here's the coach Eben is here. Now tell us what's been happening on that scene. The number of keepers went around, even before you touch on Fatau Dauda.
You see, I share the sentiments of Coach Damba. His playing days, you could see a number of goalkeepers. I have about 27 goalkeepers in his days. That any given time, any of them invited to the national team will perform, and nobody complains about the goalkeeping department of the national team at that time. You talk of goalkeeper Edwin Ansa, now the goalkeeper straight of Accra, the late Salifu Ansa. You talk Nasamu Yakubu, the current blaster goalkeeper trader, the Abukari Damba himself here. You talk of Muhammad Odum. You talk of Ibrahim Duse, the late Ibrahim Duse. You talk of Antonio Sekojo, and then you talk of Joba, Simon Adu, the younger brother of Joe Adu, and then you talk of Robertson, one goalkeeper from All Blacks to Ashgo, the late Robertson, and then you talk of Nana Benny Krensel, Constant Mante, and you talk of Joka, Yashin Lai, at that time because Kwame Mbale, the late Kwame Mbale. You talk of Richard Kingston.
Okay, now you mentioned the name. You mentioned the name I know now.
You talk of Humphrey Amwa, James Nano, coming down to Ali Jara, Bendida, Benu, Osai Boateng, Jojo, Jerry J, Sami J. You talk of Kujo, the current and the maidens or whatever, their coach. You talk about him. Compare these goalkeepers that I've mentioned to this current crop of goalkeepers. Talk of Isaac Amwakon, Philemon McCarthy, Stephen Aholu, Folia Dade. You talk of Daniel Eje, Eric Niba, Soa, Muzata Ajite, Joseph Ado, Eric Oforientry. These young goalkeepers. Compare them to the days of Damba, the names that I've mentioned.
What's the missing link?
The missing link is that we should ask ourselves at that time, what kind of goalkeepers training that they were having? He's here. And today we have goalkeepers training who goes to courses, who have a lot of training, but yes, still our goalkeepers lack.
Let me find out this, because it's getting worrying at this point. Coach Damba, can you confidently say that every club in this country has a goalkeepers trainer?
Obviously. Obviously, every
Every club has.
Every club.
You see, obviously, you are hoping that they have.
Yes.
Or you are sure they have.
I am sure about that. Every club
has a goalkeeper trainer.
A goalkeeper.
So then the problem
trainer.
is not the absence of goalkeeper trainers, but what they're teaching them then.
Let me put this in perspective. It is not about having a goalkeeper trainer. And the mistake that we're making now is that having played in goal before does not make you automatically a goalkeeper trainer. It's about acquiring the knowledge that qualifies you to be a goalkeeper trainer.
It's like you playing football and you think you can be
a coach.
No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't. It doesn't work like that at all. There are specifics that you need to learn. Go out there and invest in your career if you want to become a goalkeeper trainer. And you get the goalkeepers on track to perform as real goalkeepers and competing goalkeepers. It's very, very important. It's not just about the goalkeepers, but the trainers as well. You need to enhance.
In your view, we have too many goalkeepers attempting to do the work of a goalkeeper
That's right.
trainer.
Yes, I think so.
Set skills.
Because you should have a particular qualification that allows you to call yourself a goalkeeper trainer. And it's it's clear cut. It's in black and white. And I have to accept that fact.
I stand for correction. I ask myself a lot of questions. I stand for correction though. We go for the licenses, the intermediate, the basic intermediate, the license C coaches, courses, license B and license A. Do the goalkeepers go for that such training?
I don't remember the last time I had a goalkeeper going for license C or A or B.
I use myself as an example. You see, when they say what are the roles of a goalkeeper trainer, one, first and foremost, you must have knowledge in general coaching. Because goalkeeping is not in isolation. Because in goalkeeping, you play as a goalkeeper functionally, according to the main moments of the game. So you must have the idea of general coaching. I tell you, I have my license C. I've gone through all these courses you're talking about. I have the CAF license A as well.
I know.
I've gone to do my UEFA as well. And the next year in January, I'm going to do my UEFA B, and subsequently the certain aspects of the UEFA A as well.
And look at taking the job of the Black Stars.
So when you talk about goalkeepers specifically
have to go
are not just goalkeepers.
Now, by that qualification, we don't have any goalkeepers.
Because I tell you what, when we talk about goalkeeping, you just don't go and kick the ball for the goalkeeper to dive and catch, isn't it? Very well, the goalkeepers trainer is supposed to be in charge of what we call the build-up. That's build-up from the back.
Yeah, very
How does he cooperate or coordinate with his back four?
He play as a libero.
Okay? How do you defend corner kicks and free kicks? And these are functional games. I'm not talking about his specifics in goal, but I'm talking now about functional play. So if you have no idea or you are not knowledgeable so far as the game is concerned, you cannot function completely, in quotes, as a goalkeeper trainer.
Coach Aben Sefa, then we cannot blame our goalkeepers and the crop of goalkeepers we have now. They are not being taught what to do. No. They can't watch these on YouTube. No. I mean, how to defend corner kicks and how to begin attack. They can only watch and take inspiration from the likes of Manuel Neuers and what they have and Courtois and what they have, but they cannot really truly.
Fortunately for them, they have the likes of Dambais and Oseko Jules, and they are around.
But you make the point. There's a goalkeeper's trainer I know watching the show right now, or there's a goalkeeper watching the show right now. And you see the Boston's Kumasi. Does he need to travel to Accra to come and see Damba?
It's not. I'm saying that they are fortunate to have some of the goalkeepers, the former goalkeepers, the national goalkeepers around.
But the good thing I think we can do. Now you mentioned about the licensing, training, coaching courses. I told you right from the very beginning of this program that I believe that the goalkeeping department has been short-changed. There's a licensing course for goalkeeping. Licensing in Europe. I have gone to do that.
That is the question that I ask myself.
I mean, coach, I understand. They don't have the money to do that.
No, it's not about the money. No, it's not. I don't think so. I don't think so. If we want to make a conscious effort, we can, of course, improve upon the goalkeeping department. I think it must be established.
And I also think that our goalkeepers of today are not doing enough. And you bear me out. They are not doing enough.
I will come to the point where you want to lash the keepers themselves. But he's still making the point on the goalkeeper training. I'll come to you on that. But just hold that there. Let's talk about it. So you're saying that there should be training. They have to go and get the license.
Yeah.
But, there's no money. That's one thing you have to look at.
You invest in the coaches. I was not sponsored by anybody to go out there, to go to Europe and do my license courses. I invested in my career.
Doesn't this fall on the FA stand card directory?
Not
to try and streamline things.
Not
and
necessarily.
Say,
I don't think
be
so.
only coach-minded. Also be goalkeepers-minded.
Yes. That's why in our last CAF License A course, you know, we mentioned this, and I believe the FA, the technical committee is looking at it, that, you know, let's always make goalkeeping a subject, a complete subject, which should be treated by all coaches, not just goalkeepers trainers. As an outfield coach, that's why the coach must always work, you know, there must be a collaboration, a very good cooperation between the goalkeepers trainer and the head coach.
Yeah, I remember once I was under Coach Afane at Sporting Marine, and he once told me, look, you see me training the goalkeepers today,
Yes.
because I want to know, I want to see what they can do, and what are their lapses, and what I think that it will be able to do. At the end of the day, you see him today with the group of the players there, maybe dealing with the defensive, as he is talking about defensive in corner kicks and in free kicks. Maybe he was, but there was a time you see him with the goalkeepers alone.
Yeah.
Being the head coach of the team. Whilst the goalkeepers trainer is somewhere, he will be there training there. So I think that what Damba is saying, you see, we need to have a core. You understand? A core of a training.
And I'm not even cutting you short. Is it Coach Afrani's case you are talking about? Coach Afrani was my trainer in the national team at a particular point in time when he was a joint coach with Otto Vista, Papa.
Otto.
Okay. Yes. He, at a point in time, became my trainer. That's the goalkeeper's trainer. And Coach Afrani was on top of his job. Even though he was a trained, qualified general coach. But specifics, goalkeeping, I'm telling you, he was on top of it. Why? Look at Coach Malik. Coach Malik, for instance, when he went for his coaching course in London, he had to go and do specifics goalkeeping to make him a complete coach. So he can interrogate his goalkeeper's trainer anytime he comes up with the fact with a particular goalkeeper. Why do you want to play goalkeeper A? I think this is what I see about him. What are his attributes? Functionally, how does he perform? Are we looking at him? Do I see him the way you are also presenting him? Then there can be a discussion. So if the trainer has all the ideas about goalkeeping, they can talk about it, and they can disagree to agree.
Coach Eben wants to lash the keepers themselves and says that they're not pulling up their weights. And so for you young goalkeepers watching us, there's something that Damba was doing. There's something that the great names have mentioned, Eddie and the likes were doing that you are not doing yet. What exactly is it?
No, you ask yourself today, most goals that are considered today are from the flanks. And at that time, the days of the Damba and the Edweda and Sons, Salif and Sons, it was difficult to score them from the flanks. Very, very difficult.
Maybe the fullbacks are not being...
It's not about the fullbacks. At that time, we talk
fullbacks are not being supported well.
At that time, we have what we call standing 2, standing 6. We are standing 7.
And so don't move.
No, they move. No, they move. I'm talking about in terms of corner kicks and free kicks. Right. They do. Right. But in today, go to most of the clubs training session and go and see the kind of training that the goalkeepers are having. It's just a few. It's just a few that you could see that yes, this team have a very intelligent and experienced goalkeepers trainers. You see, I can mention some names, but I don't think it's necessary for me to mention names.
And I can give him a thumbs up. He goes around to those training pitches, so he knows exactly what he's talking about. So, you don't see them train that way.
No, I don't see that because I had an opportunity. I was fortunate to see the likes of Damba, Edward Ansan, the Mohamed Odu.
Train and play football.
Of course. At that time, I was able to have opportunity of seeing them. And anytime you see these goalkeepers in goal posts, you feel at heart, you feel at home. But in today's football, if you have a goalkeeper in the goal post, you pray that at the end of the day, there's no pressure on the defense. Because mind you talk about Manuel Noah at the World Cup. Yeah. He was the libero for the German team.
Libero as well. He always comes in to clear the
ball. Why was he nominated as to be one of the world best players?
But do you know the story about Emmanuel Neuer they're talking about?
What exactly?
He was identified in 2005, and he was prepared for what just happened.
What happened at the World Cup?
There was a succession plan.
Which you don't have.
He went through the various motions. He didn't just jump from nowhere and got to where he is. He went through the various motions and he was prepared
for the stage. But coach, I have a question for you. The question is, I know that we have Ghanaian players who go out there and survive and do well. I don't know off my head which Ghanaian goalkeeper went out there and did very well and didn't have to come back.
I started by telling you that, you know, specifics.
Is it that they don't get the basics right and they go the half-baked really?
That is true. If you don't get the basics right, And changing a cultivated habit is always very difficult. If you get the basics wrong and you go out there and you need to change your style of goalkeeping, it becomes very difficult for you. And it becomes very difficult for you to also fit into their style. That's why we're thinking that a lot of education, it's not just about training, but a lot of training and education should go into goalkeeping. You need to educate the goalkeepers as to their roles, specific and general roles. They need to understand all these things theoretically and practically. It's very important.
It's an easy question that will come in just on our Facebook page. It's certainly the one that says that, why are you not training coaches, Damba?
Come again?
Why are you not getting into mainstream training coaches? I mean, training a lot of these goalkeepers. They want to see you do
I'm sure the FA is, they do welcome these challenges. And I believe that in the near future, they will look at this goalkeeping department differently. Because for me, I think that we need to look at it and look at it seriously, because we have lots of challenges. And it's about not just the goalkeepers, but about the coaches, goalkeepers, trainers as well. We need to get them up there to be able to impact the right knowledge to the players. You know, what happens is that, let's assume the three of us are all goalkeepers here. We all have our individual, you know, efficiencies and deficiencies. And you should be able to identify that you can't train goalkeepers the same way. You identify their pluses and their minuses and train them accordingly. It's very, very important. So we don't do wholesale goalkeeping training. We don't do that.
We don't do that.
We don't do that.
Well, let me say congratulations to Stephen Adams. He's our goalkeeper, isn't he? He's part is from our First Capital Plus Premier League. Congratulations, Stephen Adams. He's in the set for the Black Stars squad. He's just been called up by Maxwell Konedu. So we'll see if he'll be given an opportunity. We saw him against Togo. He didn't do bad. And I'm just drafting this in because Stephen Adams is our own.
Fatao has also come to join, so he's also part of the...
And not only that,
my bias is Fatao has joined. Yes, I understand. But
you forgot of Daniel J.
No,
Daniel J just signed a contract with a limited profession. He's also back.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the Black Star squad that was called.
Okay.
And what do we have? First Capital Plus Premier League, we have two goalkeepers. I was just reminded to tell that was the squad. But tell that is in there. There's Stephen Adams. So we have two goalkeepers in that.
Yeah.
That's congratulations to the First Capital Plus Premier League. Yeah, we produced two goalkeepers. That's fine. That's great. But loads of questions to answer.
We are sure
one of them will be in the post, certainly.
We
saw Stephen Adams against.
We are also sure we are going to produce more of the players. I'm talking about the defensive line and the attacking line.
If Kwabena Eduse hadn't leaped out, it would have been one player.
That has been our problem. Call a player today, tomorrow he'll be a professional player.
Your local player today is tomorrow's
Call a player today, tomorrow he'll become a professional player. So I think that we have a lot of work to do. A lot of work needs to be done. Well, it also motivates the home-based players to also work hard. It gives you the opportunity to also play in the national team.
That's right.
As we talk of Stephen Adams, he's been able to go through with Diana. He's been to. He nearly went to the World Cup 2010. He was part of the squad before the last hour. He was stopped, and he has fought back. He never sat back. He fought hard and get himself into the squad again. I was in Togo, and he was marvelous in goal post for the national team.
He conceded, but
no, it was an own goal. It was a deflection because he made a save, all right.
That's right.
But it's on Russian. Harrison Afo had the ball on his knee, and the ball went into the net. Okay. But apart from that, he did excellently well. If he had been a goalkeeper, a different goalkeeper, he would have been panicking because any time Adebayo comes forward, see the way the fans comes up, chanting, calling Adebayo. Everybody know what Adebayo can do.
To score.
But Steve Adams was able to organize his defense very well. It reminded you he was the libero. As Damba was saying, how he builds his attack, how he initiated attack. Yeah. He was able to organize the defense very well. Talk of Baba Rahman, talk of Harrison Afo, Jonathan Mensah, and then Awa Muhammad was excellent.
So okay, let's just hold it. So one point. Let's just ask ourselves this question: can he be a better goalkeeper than that?
I think he can.
He can.
I think he can.
What can we do to make him a better goalkeeper?
Question.
He needs to get a lot of competitive games to play. How do we do that?
We have to risk.
So off air, you made a fantastic point.
Yeah.
That we don't know which club Adams belongs to right now.
Yeah.
Which club is he training with? So how does he make himself a better goalkeeper?
we'll leave it there. I was trying very hard not to get into Black Stars issues because we're going to be dealing with First Capital Plus. We can't help it when our players have gone into it. Okay, so now let's just have a look at what's happening in Ashfield in terms of our transfers, just as we end it. It's very important. Fatal Dada has joined them. Well, he's not certainly the first choice goalkeeper like we're told by Kujafiani, but what do we have then? He joins great lads and great keepers along, so I have Dabo in there as well. So can we just go through the lineup? Who and who have they trapped in? Maybe some 3-4 players. Let's talk about them.
I think Ashfield players that have gone out this season, we have the Daniel Asamoah, the long-standing captain of the team, and then Aaron Amwa from Mighty J to Ashgood, he's also out. We talk of Michael Ufosuapia, formerly of Kotoko, to he's also out. Louis Ajiman, formerly of Accra Sufro Kotoko, is also out. We talk of Francis Kobe, formerly of Kotoko, is also out. And then the incoming players, they have Ransford Kwachi, the skipper for King Faisal. It's very strong.
That's a big one out there. Yeah, I can see that regional, transfer thing going on.
And I think that
from Kotoko to Ashgood
really need Ransford Kwachi to pair Lawrence Latte at the back. And then they have Bashiru Osman, who last season played
that's cool heads, two cool heads. Lawrence Latte and Ransford. That'll be
and then Bashiru Osman, who last season was with Kumasi Sade Kotoko, but he couldn't make an impact in the Dramani squad. And then they have the Petros guy from Namibia. The wonderful player.
He's got 2 goals already.
And I can assure you that he's going to make a big difference in our coming season, First Capital Plus League. He's called Petros. Very wonderful player. Uses both legs, an offensive midfielder who is very good. Let me talk a little bit about Mediema. Mediema has had Kwame Boahen, one of the fantastic players in the season, and he's out. And then I think he's in Israel. And then you talk of Joseph Jackson, he's also out. You have Godfred Roxen, formerly of Roxen, he's also out. And then talk of Michael Hellegbe, he's also out. And talk of Osebe, who's also out. The incoming ones are the Division 1 players and Division 2 players that Coach Prince has been able to bring to Mediema. And I think that the old guns of Hans Kofi, you talk of the Zutes and then the Kofi Jaris, all of them, the old squad are there. Victor Ayere, they are there. But they have the Philip Asiwe, a centre back for Okoro United, he was also in Mediema. They have Ivan Squaw, he went out and he's back in Mediema. They have Noah Mensah, a Division 2 player. They have Benjamin Batule, I mean, he's also a good player. Abubakar Issa from I think from Nungwa or somewhere. I mean, second division.
These are second division 1, division 2. Trying to fuse them with what they have.
Of course, because he has got all the squad. The players are there. He's left with the only absentees are Kwame Boahen, and then you talk of Joseph Jackson. And Kwame Boahen was integral part of the team. He was the key of Mediema last season. That should tell you that the core of the team is there. Just that they had a little problem with technical issues with Coach Prince taking over. And I think Mediema
and I know Coach Prince personally. He was at the University of Ghana.
So he for today, I think that Ice Gold and Mediema, their new signings coming to blend. You know, Ice Gold, they maintain their squad. And today they have Atubisa, a back-to-baton player. He was with Hazakes. He went out. He came to Beckham Chelsea to Ice Gold. He's now the key, the engine of Ice Gold. He's now the engine
so the two teams, at least we know the two teams are looking good, aren't they?
Both teams maintain their squad.
They're looking good.
Just infused with the young ones. For instance, Ashgood had the very young players from Division 2 and Division 1, but the key ones were Ransford Kwachi and the Petros, and then
it just makes it very nice. I mean, think about Kwachi, in defense alongside Lawrence Latte, have Robert Dabo, and have Fatal Dada in the background, just in case something goes wrong. That's a solid Ashgood for you. They are hoping not to concede too many goals when the First Capital Plus Premier League starts. But I have to say, my time is up now.
Remember, they won, they just ended top 4.
I told you that was against. But I told you, they won. I know Kujafiano is probably watching, but I'm sorry, but I'm saying that you didn't play against the targeted witness. The targeted witness was hard to book. You didn't play against them. Anyway, never mind.
They ran away.
Never mind. Okay, never mind. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Abukar Domba, for joining me on the show. It's been refreshing to hear from you as well. Thank you very much, Coach Aben Sefa, as usual. And I don't need to tell you again, he's a student and a master of the game and the doctor of the game. He goes around every place and he does all the work, certainly. Next week, we'll talk about some more clubs, and there will be a lovely topic up there. You have to pray for the First Capital Plus Premier League that starts soon. We can't wait. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you to the fantastic team, the director, everybody doing a great job. We're saying have a good night. I'm George Adder Jr. See you next week.